Pride from Training Earnings once again, and today we are going to be looking at a special video. We are going to be looking at a way of accessing free fast Airtel internet in Uganda. So guys, we are going to be looking at an app called Napster.net TV. Napster.net TV is a tunneling app, just like Kitsunebi, just like HTTP Injector, just like H8 Tunnel Plus. These are all apps you can use to get free internet. But this time around, we are going to be looking at basically looking at the Napster.net TV app. So we are going to be looking at where we can get the app, the installation, how to the basics you have to know before using the app, how to start using the app, and last but not least, enjoyment of the free Airtel internet. So guys, just hang on, don't skip any step of this video, because if you skip any step of this video, you will not learn everything to its best. So now, to begin with, Napster.net TV is really a common app. It's not a very hard app to find. It's really a common app. The other thing is that it's not that as soon as you install this app on your phone, you start using free internet. That's why you have to follow each and every step that I'm going to be taking you through, such that you can learn how to configure this app, and it enables you to access free Airtel internet. And we're talking about internet that is fast. So let's begin with where the app is found. So this app can be downloaded from the Play Store. You can download this app from the Play Store. You can download this app from APK Pure. So let me see here. So we type in Napster.net TV. So this is the app with the NV icon with a background. So you tap on it. It is called Napster.net Viture VPN client. So since for you may not be having it, you may install, but since I do have it on my phone, I will just open it. So you may not open it from here, you may open it from your phone menu after installing, but I'm just opening it from the Play Store since I already have it. But you can get this app from the Play Store, you can get this app from the APK Pure and other application sources. So this is not a rare app. So the app's interface looks like this. On the taskbar, you will see the home, then you'll see the start at the statistics. So the statistics, you'll see where we have uplink 0 bytes, then downlink 0 bytes. We shall later be seeing how these ones are essential and they are used. So we shall also be having logs here, then we shall be having more. When you tap more, you will find subscribe to a set of servers. You can refresh regularly. We won't need that right now. The hardware ID, I'm going to show you how useful that is. The VPN tethering, this one enables you to share the Napster's internet with another phone. Remember, we use this app to access internet when we have 0.00 kilobytes. So in this case, this app will help us to will enable us to share its generated internet via hotspot or via tethering. So we have settings here, then we have follow developer, we have about, then contributor. So these ones won't be of much use, just as we are going to be seeing. So we go back to home. So this app as I already explained, it doesn't work alone. It's not that as soon as you install it, you start enjoying free internet. No. This app has what we call files. Files are like the heart of the app. So this app can't work without files. So these files are created by the developers. So we create these files and then we distribute them. Hope you understand. We create these files, then we distribute them. Now we are going to tap here where the plus button is. So when you tap there, we shall see import npv4 config file, import config from clipboard, and then the rest. So basing on today's video, we're not going to look at these others because these others are of less importance. The most important options are the first two, the import npv4 config file and import npv from clipboard, but the most important option is the first one, import npv4 config file. So that's where we shall tap. But before we do that, just know, for example, if someone sends you a file, an Napster.NET-V file to use via WhatsApp, if they send a file via WhatsApp, then you should know that when you are going to import, you should head to your WhatsApp documents folder. That's where the file will be located, because this file will be considered as a document. So depending on where you saved your file, if you saved your file in downloads, that's where you will find it. So this app works with files. Don't get scared. The files are not very hard to find. Many people create files, me inclusive. So files are so simple to find. That's the first bit of it. The second bit of it, files are also simple to create. So you can create yours. There is no magic here. You can create your own files. So you tap here. You tap the first option, import npv4 config file. Then you will allow here. Then you tap OK. Then it will open for you your phone folders. For example, for me, the file I'm going to use is in the downloads folder. And it's what they have opened. So if for you your file is not here, you will tap here, you will choose where it is. So for me, mine is here. This is my file that I received. So when I tap on it, it will say config file imported successfully. Then I will tap here on this file. Then this side it will turn blue. So as soon as it turns blue, now we are going to start the service. So we tap this blue button, the play button. So now when this starts, they will see VPN started. So as soon as we start this, then this file shall be the one running. The file shall be the one running. So for you to see, or for you to prove whether the file you have imported is working or not, you will have to check your statistics, the stats. Remember before in the stats we had the amp link with 0 bytes and then a downlink with 0 bytes too. So now we are going to check and see. So when you check here, the uplink is moving and the downlink is moving too. So when the uplink and the downlink, when both the uplink and the downlink are moving, that means the file that you have put into your Napster is working, and the file is now giving you free internet with 0.00 kilobytes on your data balance. So that is the beauty about this. There is nothing very hard, there is nothing too hard to deal with here, but it's just that You just need to download the app. After downloading the app, import the file just as I've shown you. The files are very common. Very many people make their files. Very many. The good thing is that even you're the person who is viewing this video right now, you can also decide to be making your own files, and you can even sell them if you want. So the other thing is that these files have limits. For example, if you get a file with a limit of 200 MBs, it doesn't mean that as soon as the 200 MBs get done, you throw away the file. No, it means that this file will be giving you 200 MBs every day. So if this file today gives you 200 MBs and then it stops working, when it stops working, the applicant, the downlink, shall stop moving. They will go back to flat lines. They will just become straight lines. So these wavy ones will stop. They will just, the curves will flatten. So when you find a file of 500 MBs limit, that means that today it will give you 500 MBs, tomorrow it will give you more 500, the other day it will give you 500, just like that. So it will continue giving you 500 MBs every day until its expiry date reaches. The expiry date for these files is set by the person who made them. So if a person, for example, wants to sell to you a file, a monthly file at 5,000, he will set an expiry date for that file like next month on that same day that you've bought it, on the same date. So the expiry date of these files is set by the people who develop them. Hope you understand. So that's all about the files. So we have looked at the first option of how you can import these files and they start working. So find here the stats. Even if you tap here the logs, they'll tell you starting Vitrue, starting VPN established, starting turn to socks, because I told you these are tunneling apps. These are tunneling apps. Tunneling apps are the ones we use to access this internet. So they'll even be showing you here the date or the days remaining for your file to expire. For example, here they are telling me 9 days, like the last statement, 9 days, 3 hours, 18 minutes, 33 seconds left for the config to expire. So the person who made this config made it to expire in that period of time, and that's the period of time that the config has to be working. So with that, let's first leave it at that and look at the second option. So when we are starting, so that's how we cancel. If you want to cancel this connection and stop it, you press that blue button once again and the X disappears, the play button comes back. That's how you cancel, and it will show you that like VPN stop. Let me start for you once again, and you also see. So we've started, VPN started, then I'll close. So I've closed. Even up here I will see not connected. So we are going to look at we are now going to look at option number 2, like the second option. So we had here 2 options: import npv4 config file, which we have tried out. We've really tried out this and you have seen how it works. So option number 2 is import config from clipboard. So when you try tapping it here, it will import. But where has this come from? That's what you should ask yourself. We are going to copy our config from clipboard. So you see importation unsuccessful, because now we have not yet copied and config. Now the files you see here, like for example this file that you imported already, that one is for you, for a final user. But there is a category of people who want to set the expiry dates of their own files, people who want to have the master file and sell it. Those people are also available. So if you want to start selling your files, or to start making your files, option number 2 is useful. So come here, for example, I'll move back here. I have my vmess. So a vmess is what we use to make these files. So this is the vmess. So the file that you saw earlier in the Napster.NET V app is just a representation of this. So if you feel like making your own files, you want to get expiry dates for your own files, you want to configure your own files, you have to get a working vmess. So for example, this is a working vmess here. So I will copy the whole of it. I'll tap copy here. Then I will move to the app, to Napster here. So I'll move to the app. I'll tap the plus here icon, the plus button. Then I tap second option, import config from clipboard. Clipboard means you've already copied something, now we are going to paste it. I tap here. So the second file has come. So the other vmess, this is the other vmess. If I tap on it and it turns blue. So you see, when you tap on the first one, these other options of copies, share, disk, pencil icon, they are not available. But since the second one is a master file that you can use to create other files, the second one is a vmess. You can take a vmess. If a vmess is hard for you to understand, you can take it as a master file that you can use to make other files. Later on, I'll take you through the process of making a vmess, because it's quite long. It is actually very long. But the best thing is to have a vmess of your own. So let me show you the second one. So this second one, a master file, the vmess, for it to just copy it and paste it here. After pasting it, you can create other files from it. You can create files that you give to your friends. You can create files for sale. You can create a variety. So you can tap here the pencil icon, so it will open for you. So whatever is in the other vmess is represented here. Whatever is in the other thing that we copied is this. The meaning is this. Whatever is in the other vmess is represented here. So these are the remarks. This is the address. So this address is like a host. It's like a host. Just as I explained that the data limit that your file has depends on the host which the developer gave to your file. So if the developer of that file, or the creator of that file that you are using, gave your file as an address which gives less data, that is the data that you will be getting per day. If he gives your file an address that receives more data, that's the data will be getting per day. So the address is here. So you can just you can delete this address. You type in any other working host. So we have here the port 443. We have the ID. This is the ID. We have the alt ID. We have security network. Network type is WS. We have the other path. So this is the file. This is the master file. Yes, you get. So here, this master file can also be copied. To show you, in order to prove to you that this is just a representation of the other thing that we copied, we are going to copy this also. We are going to copy this. Copy v2re config. We've copied it. So let us try pasting it somewhere here. Let's paste it here. and you see whether it's not the same. We shall tap here, paste. So this is it. This is the vmace gate. So that's how it is done. So that the two options. If you have a locked file that you just got from someone, you import it using the first steps. If you have a complete vmace, like if someone has sent you a vmace in form of text, a master file, you also copy it and paste it into the app using the method that I've just showed you. And just as we did in the first steps, in order for you to prove that this thing is also working, you tap on it, it becomes, it gets this, is it cream, that white portion turns blue. Then you come here, you press the blue button to start the service. And then once the service is started, you'll tap here. So you'll find that this uplink and downlink are both flat, then they will start moving, meaning that the file or the vmace is truly working, and now you're accessing data, Airtel data. So guys, this is working 100%. And many people have been asking me questions about Napster, how you can use everything, but now this is it. This is all about Napster. So I'll be coming maybe in another video of how you can get, or how this vmace or the master file is created from scratch. Because if you want to create this master file from scratch, you have to have a server. After getting a server, you have to get a domain name. Then you link that domain name to the server's address. Then you have to have a Viture script. Then you have to have like Putty, a software called Putty on your laptop. Then you install the Viture script on your server, and then you receive a vmace. But that's kind of a longer process. But it's better you get a vmace from someone to avoid that long process. You can get a vmace from someone, then you start making your own files, minus doing the other hectic process of creating your own vmace. The other thing of creating your own vmace has one benefit, and the benefit is that you can control your servers anytime. For example, if the file is becoming slow, you can boost your servers, you can refresh your servers, you can format the servers, then you can rebuild them. So that is the only advantage. But I would not advise you, if you are a beginner, I would not advise you to rush into creating your own vmace. First, use the files that are already made. After using the files that are already made, and you find that you're okay with importing and whatsoever, then you start using the vmace. So in case you have this vmace, the master file, and you want to create these locked files that you can maybe sell or whatever, or you want to customize like this one, you tap here the pencil icon. After putting your address, your host here, you can come in the remarks, then you put CEO Bright, then you save here. That is a save, so it will turn to CEO Bright here. So you can export this. For example, if you're going to send it to a customer or a friend to use, and you want to limit the days and whatsoever, you don't want that person to find the host you are using, because it has never been good to, it is not good to serve the vmess, because it can lead to sabotage. So you can tap here where there is share, you tap config name. Let us say it is Bright Mukisa. Then we tap lock configuration. You see here, lock configuration, you say lock with a password. We can lock our files with a password. Then we say mobile data only. You can block rooted devices from using your file, because you are now a creator. You can now here where this is where I set the expiry date for your file. For example, hours. So you can set an expiry date you want. So hours, let us put that 10th here. Tap OK. Then hardware ID. Hardware ID is used in case you're going to send someone a file and you don't want them to share it with any other phone. So you will tell that individual to send his or her hardware ID. So when you tap your hardware ID lock, you will paste their hardware ID here, such that that exported file you make for them can only work in their phones, but not any other person's phone. And there you'll be increasing the market for your files, because instead of one person selling the files, you can send one person a file and he sells it. But now if you want to minimize piracy of your files, then you'll have to include the hardware ID lock. So you can tap here the expiry date. We will let us set the expiry date here 10th. Then we tap OK. Then we tap here. Then we are going to save it in downloads. You see? So now we are going to tap. Remember, now we've saved it. It's now a locked file. So we are going to tap the first option here. We tap OK here. Then we look at downloads. We'll find it. The file is here. Bright Mukisa. We'll tap it here. And it is now here. You see? CEO Bright config is locked. So this is a locked file. But this locked file has been made from this master file. So this locked file will work as this master file, but the issue is someone cannot make another file from a locked file. That is one. Second thing, a locked file has an expiry date. It expires, and the master file doesn't. The other thing is that a locked file can be locked to a certain hardware ID of a certain phone, but the master file isn't locked. So the other thing is that the master file can be edited. You can edit anything from its config name to whatever, but a locked file cannot be edited. So that's the difference, guys. So those are the basics of using Napster.NET V. Thanks for watching. It's trending earnings. Kindly remember to subscribe to this channel, like our videos, feel free to comment, share our videos with other people, such that we can all learn together and we benefit at a go. And this really motivates us to make more of such videos. So guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.